Hey guys, Rich here at Razor Customs. We make a lot of billet parts for C10s, but I've started thinking about making myself some door panels. I'd really like to make something modern that looks like the rest of our product, but lends itself to a budget-friendly approach. So we're gonna see what I can manage out of that, and if it's something I like at the end, or if I end up with one of the store-bought options out there. I suspect we'll get to something I like. We'll see. So here's what we're starting with. It's actually a 78 door with an 81 to 87 panel on it. So I haven't swapped the door handle over. But these, just from their age, get very spongy and bent. So we'll probably remake that. They're not the greatest design as it is. This is a very basic door panel, so I'm going to try to keep it that way, but I think I'd like something for underneath here, because I'd like to put a speaker and possibly a little bit of a call out section. Haven't decided if my truck's going to have, like, you know, one of those show car truck names or anything, but at least it'll have a space for it. And then I will be deleting the window crank at some point and going power windows, but that's before the panel will probably get leather wrapped. So we'll see what I can come up to with some CAD work and 3D prints, and I'll get back to you. Okay, here's what I've come up with. It's a nice combination of some billet aluminum and some 3D printed parts that will texture to fit. Pretty basic, the same shape as the original, just a lot more rigid. So that'll be nice. Little hidden features. We have an open cavity inside, and there's a small latch that's very hard to see. See if I can get in close enough. And that button there is how you'll open the latch. So they'll just magnet in and then have a little bit of storage inside. Good for anything you want in there. Solid billet bottom, screws to the door like the factory one. I'm gonna negate the third screw that was over here. With the solid bottom, it doesn't seem to need it at all. It should be fine. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, let you know how the prints go. Okay, so the prints turned out okay. We made some good progress on these, and they actually got primed and started sanding prior to getting video of it, but I believe you get the idea. The printer is, we run a lot of different printers here, but this is off a Cheedy Plus 3 or 3 Max, something like that. Good enough printers for what they do. They print really well, but they don't do it all for you like some of the Bamboo Labs printers and such do. So this has, there's your button recess I talked about earlier, where there'll be a little button on this side that pivots up and knocks the plate out. Magnets will keep the plate from rattling while you're driving around. And then the bottom is all made with the screws already ready to go, so they're threaded internally even, so the screws just go right in and bite. It's worked out really well for us in the past, where if I cast this or print the threads straight into the part, we don't have any stripping or anything like that. And it is ABS plastic that we're working with, which is what your dash and most of the original parts were made of anyways. So you don't have any of the melting issues that people tend to get when they're using 3D printers. We'll get back to you once I either get some aluminum cut or these painted. Okay, we have a little bit of progress here. I water jet these just because it was easier. There's no real need for anything fancier than that. So they're just water jet and drilled. We will countersink the few screws that go into the bottoms of these, and countersink the other way the 2 holes that go into the door. So that's a simple drilling and countersinking job. This side, the upper, there's just a test of the brushed finish with polished edges I was thinking about. They need to be done on my mill. I have a Tormach 1100M. Because of the pocketed magnets, we couldn't do them with the water jet, so they are right off the mill and then hand finished and polished from there. I'm getting excited about this. See where it goes next. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I got one kind of at a point to check out and see if it's what I want here. Polished edges, brushed face. Here's our textured coating. Looks very close to the original vinyl. And then I actually did a kind of stone wash textured finish in there too, just because it's going to get beat up with change and keys and everything. This will get a clear coating as well to keep it from fingerprinting, because right now it's hard to see on film. They do fingerprint when they're brushed. And then one-handed, but this button pops that up and you can get in. There you can see the button working there. Magnets. And it just snaps back in. So I think it's a good proof of concept. I will try it on the door next and see what we think. Okay guys, what do we think of this? I'm pretty excited about it. It looks a lot better than the original, just so that we can remember this was the original. And this third bolt here turns out to just screw into the plastic. It goes through the plastic with a nut, like sheet metal nut. These two go into the main bracket that's bolted to the door, into steel. This one was just going into the plastic door panel. So entirely unnecessary. And this way it makes your door panel a lot easier to take apart. So we'll see. I think that's how I'll do it. I can always put another through bolt in there with a countersink, just like this one. It'll be nutted from the bottom then, and put on before the door panel goes on. And then once the door panel's on, these two go in. That's more how this worked. I don't think it's necessary. So we'll see how that goes. I'm quite excited about, let me put that down. I'm quite excited about how this is turning out. And I think it's going to be handy having a little bit of hidden storage as well. Not hidden, I guess it's on the internet. And having that lock in is a nice solid feel for that. And this is such a higher quality feel than what we had going with the stock foam plastic one. So I guess that's probably the end of this video, unless I can think of anything else to do on this section of it. But the next video will probably be looking at a much bigger print here. And I think the insert will probably have either a wrapped piece of aluminum or a brushed aluminum to match that. And then I'm looking to try to get a good size speaker, deep cone in this area without having to cut the door. I don't want to cut the doors. This isn't the door for my truck, it's just one for mock-up, but I don't want to cut my doors either. And yeah, a nice grill in there. Should be good to go. I'll probably color match these to the black and then do a vinyl or leather wrap over the door panel when I get to it. And I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to end up, some of the trucks got a map pocket in the older years. I'm not sure if the 81 to 87 did, but I think I'd like to build something here to solve that once the window crank is gone. And that will allow us to possibly put cup holders or things like that, because I don't want it down low. I originally thought about cup holders down with this, but if it's too low in the truck, you'll have a hard time reaching them. So, like I say, that's all for a second video. Hopefully you guys like this, and hopefully you enjoy C10 parts like these instead of the stuff we can buy from China and all the rest of it. It's better if you make it yourself, right? And at least make something unique. So keep building your trucks, and we'll see you in the next video. Okay guys, that wraps up this video. There's gonna probably be a series on just this door panel by the time I'm done. And then I think I'll carry on with videos of more pieces as we make them for the truck. I plan on making as much of the truck as possible myself. We do specialize in C10 badges, and I've made chassis for them over the years. Independent rear suspension chassis. We've made some stuff for them over the years. I very much am dedicated to C10s around here. We have a bunch of other cars in the fleet. The shop fleet is 26 cars. And like I say, we do specialize in billet items typically. The 3D printing is another side of the same coin. Let me know if there's anything that you'd like to know about. I skip past a lot of stuff in this video because it may be boring, it may not be informative to you. But if there's stuff you'd like to see, let me know, and I'll try to add more. Some parts are going to be difficult to film. I don't know if I need to do screen capturing or better lighting in here if I'm going to do these, or if it's just not worth it. Let me know if there's any specific parts you'd like me to do. The email, if you'd like to get a hold of me, is razorcustoms@yahoo.ca. My Instagram is razorcustoms, and the website is razorcustomsmachining.com. You can look at the other stuff we do if you want. The bulk of it is C10 or 3rd gen Camaro oriented. Just let me know if there's anything you'd like to see, and I'd be happy to do it. These videos, I think, will be fun for all of us. Have a good day, guys.